have a lot of sayings and I love to repeat them every day to my children. Hopefully they will be embedded into their growing brains. One of my favorite things that I tell them is always try. Don't be afraid. It doesn't matter if you don't have a degree or you never took a class. It's okay. Just try, because the worst thing that can happen is you make a mistake, you fail, you fall off the horse, but you just get back on. And that's what I'm doing today. I'm going to try something new that I've never done before. Oil painting. Here's my simple and humble setup. I found these oil paints in my daughter's art kit. But before I start, I have to feed Lloyd. Lloyd, how do you like my chicken soup?
It's great.
He is my husband's editor. Look how much he likes my soup.
Thank you. I really appreciate it.
Because this is my first time using oil paints, I called my girlfriend Stacy, who just moved to New York. She studied painting in college and she's taught art to kids from Los Angeles to Seoul, Korea, and now in New York. I spent about an hour talking to her on the phone about the principles of oil painting and what to do and basically how to get started. And she told me I needed to get this color, which is burnt sienna, and to mix it with this medium to make the oil color more watery so that I can do a very fine, light base coat. The canvas is very porous, it's a fabric. So if you don't prep it, then the paint will go seep in to the canvas and the color might not be exactly what you want it. So we're going to prep it like I prep my canvases when I do my acrylic paints. But I think it's more crucial to prep your canvas when you do oil paints. So here we go. I don't have the fancy glass sheet that they use to mix their oils. So I got out one of my old plates. And let's see what this sienna looks like. She told me I don't need a lot. And this is not a large canvas. Well, for me it's large. What size is this canvas? It is 24 by 24. So excited. I know I get excited about a lot of things, but isn't that better than not being excited about trying something new? Okay. Am I supposed to shake this up? I'm assuming I have to shake it up. Because you always have to shake everything. Except for dynamite and sodas. I think you're supposed to push down and turn. Okay. So I'm just gonna mix it up. Perhaps I should have used this toolkit to mix up the paint, but let's see. I really just want it very liquidy for the first layer of paint, for the first coat. It's supposed to be the consistency of ink. That does not look like ink. I'm going to add more of this baby. Let's mix, 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 mix. I still think that's too dark. Let's add more. Let's be generous. More. All right. I think this has to do. First coat, first layer, the strokes are always up because I want all my prayers to go up to the heavens. I know this takes more time because I'm only using upward strokes. It's so interesting because I started painting to get away from all the rules of writing, but as I start painting more and more, I come up with my own rules and rituals that I do. Isn't life interesting? After this first coat, then I could go crazy and go up and down. I think I need a bigger brush for the first coat. Make note to self. Just got a call from school. My son is sick, so now I have to go pick him up. He has a fever of 97 degrees. Is 97 degrees even qualify as being sick? He better be sick, or he's going to be sick of me lecturing him all day. There he is. Oh, he's wearing a new shirt. Something to celebrate. It's a miracle. He's made a full recovery. Don't judge. I'm painting 2 more canvases because I just cannot stand to waste the remainder of the oil paint. So this is going to give me a total of 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 of these smaller canvases. Caution, when painting and leaving your canvas to dry, beware of leaving your doors open, because when you come back, you'll find all these little flies sticking to your canvas. Do they teach you that in art school? It is 5:40 a.m. Saturday morning, and obviously I could not sleep because I was thinking about this painting and this process. I had no idea oil painting would be so fun. It is like working with butter. There is no pulling, there is no rough spots, it's just smooth. It is delicious and graceful working with oil color. I wish I had known this earlier, but I still do love acrylics. But this is so much fun. I like the border. I like what I did here. I did not like her face, so I actually ended up scraping off the oil before it dried. I haven't got the face exactly right, and I'm not sure exactly what kind of brush I'm going to use, but I know it has to be. I like working with a soft brush. This brush is almost too hard. what I want to do is outline. Let's see. I want to I think I would like to, because I don't have much time. I'm up early because I have to go to the barn. So I think I'm going to try to just outline the eyes and the mouth. I'm not loving the nose. I'm going to leave the nose alone. So I'm going to try to just outline the eye and the mouth with black. And this is by Winton Oil Color. And it is Lamp Black. They are so creative in these names. My goodness. Mars Black, Lamp Black, Noir. Can't they just say black or black, black? Really black, soft black, medium black. So people like me who are beginning artists don't get too confused. What I love about oil color is you really do not need that much paint. When they say use a little dab, they really mean use a little dab. It goes a long ways, especially if you mix it with a medium that makes it more watery, and you get twice, 3 times, 10 times more for your color. Let's see, but do I want to add a medium to this? Because I don't think I'm going to add, let's see, I bought this refined linseed oil. It's supposed to make the watercolor more fluid, but I'm not going to use any of that right now. And I'm just going to I've decided to use this, instead of a point brush, I'm going to use this flat brush. It's a very small, fine, flat brush. Do you see it? The canvas is still sticky, it's still wet. Ooh, did you see what I just did? It is really wet. I just rub it in. My hands are pretty steady, even though I'm up very early. I got decent sleep last night. I've been watching The Walking Dead with my 13-year-old son. Yes, you heard me correct. I'm watching The Walking Dead. I know I'm years behind everybody else. And I ask myself, why am I watching this show? But I fell in love with the characters. Everything has to have a story. If it's a good story and good writing, then people will watch, even if it's about zombies. And I'm proof. Okay, love that. Let's go move on to her mouth. I'm just doing a faint outline. I did it with pencil, and then I went over it with charcoal pencil, which was, I think, not a good idea, because when I started laying down or painting on the oil paint, it just went everywhere. And I don't want to make her lips perfect, so I'm just gonna do that. I don't want to finish her lips. Liking how that lip's turning out, right? I was telling my 13-year-old daughter, do not pluck your eyebrows. wheat. You'll be doing that for the rest of your life. So just wait. And then I will help you with it because if you pluck it weird, like I did when I first did it by myself, I was missing half the eyebrow. Truly. Okay. To be continued. It is now 26 hours later, checking on my oil paint to see if it is dry yet. Let's see. It is still not dry. How long does it take to dry? Oh my gosh, but I was very active yesterday and the day before on these oil paints. It's my first attempt. Why didn't somebody tell me how fantastic it is to work with oil paints? You just layer and layer and layer. It feels different from our acrylics that I've been using. Oil paint, I feel like there's this grace and movement to the oil, and it's all about layering. You start off with the light layer and then you go heavier with the colors and the thickness of the oils. And I'm really, really enjoying the process, but I'm not enjoying the process of waiting for them to dry because I can't wait to get my hands on them. But I think she's getting there. I'm not in love with them yet. This is just the base. I actually feel like I use too much color. I love how the colors vibe with each other and how they're just so dynamic, all the colors put together. However, it might actually take away from the book that I select. And I have a couple of books in mind that I want to use for this series, but I can't tell you right now because I might not commit. The great thing about art is I can constantly change my mind, even at the last moment. I'm taking my black charcoal pencil. I'm going to define certain areas like the nose and the mouth and shade in gray tones, which then I will go over again with oil paint. But I didn't like the nose, how it turned out, so This painting is testing my patience. I get up every morning, I've been doing that for the last 5 days, checking to see if the paint is dry, and it is not. Oil paint takes so long to dry, and it's proven to me that I have absolutely no patience, because instead of just waiting for it to dry, I will come back and add more paint, fix this and that, tweak it here, tweak it there, and I think it's gonna start going downhill with this project. So I need to physically remove it from my office, put it across the house into the dining room, and let it sit there and just dry. Come on, baby. Let's put it into the dining room. Follow the lady. We're gonna take her into the dining room, she can just dry. It's 6 in the morning. I'm checking to see how dry my oil paint is. Let's see. You see? Ooh, still wet. How long does this take to dry? Really liking how this is looking. I went over the hair, made it darker, added the splash of red, and I have some paint left over black. I hate wasting paint, so I'm going to take my chopsticks. Yes, my chopsticks. And I'm not going to rip them apart. I'm just going to add a little space between it, the chopsticks, because I literally just want to add, let's see how this is going to look. A streak of black. Hopefully I don't regret it. Let's see how this is going to work. Okay. That is not working out too well. Nope, not at all. So what I'm going to have to do is use my paintbrush. I literally just wanted that happening. But that paintbrush is a little too thin, so I'm going to go for the larger one. And just add. Because I have such a big splash of red here, I added a splash of red here, here, and slightly up here, and on this side to balance it off a little bit. What I love about art as well as writing is you think you have an idea in mind, but then you get something totally different as you go on this journey. Okay. I think I'm liking the subtleness of that. Maybe a little. Is she done yet? Let's see. Oh, she's still a little wet. Still. We need to let her sit for a little bit longer. Maybe, I think it's going to take more than a day, a couple days, perhaps even a week to have the heavy layers of paint, the thick layers of paint really dry before I add on another layer of paint and touch it up. And then ultimately my feathers. And I have a very special book for this one. It is a great morning because finally our lovely lady here is dry. I can't believe I actually stepped away, did not touch her for an entire week and a half because oil painting takes a lot of patience and it's teaching me patience, which I love and hate at the same time. But finally she is dry. Yes, she's dry and she's ready to go. And what I did was I already pre-cut my feathers. I have been saving this book for a while. It's a book that somebody had given my daughter for her birthday a long time ago. And it's a book that I think is quite extraordinary and needs an extraordinary piece to be married to. And this book is called Good Night Stories for Rebel Girls. I love this book. It is a book that I have read over and over for myself and to my daughter about women young and older who are trailblazers, who set a path for us all so that it's easier for us to follow after them and then create new pathways for the generation behind us. It is stories of women that are astronauts and authors and activists and doctors and nurses and Formula One drivers, politicians, directors, empress, mountaineers, pharaohs, queens, reporters, singers, scientists, Supreme Court justice. So many stories. And I love what the three authors had to say here. It really was quite touching and inspiring. It says, each of the 100 stories in this book proves the world-changing power of a trusting heart. May these brave pioneers inspire you. May their portraits impress upon our daughters the solid belief that beauty manifests itself in all shapes and colors and at all ages. May each reader know the greatest success is to live a life full of passion, curiosity, and generosity. May we all remember every day that we have the right to be happy and to explore wildly. Now that you are holding this book, yes I am, all we can feel is hope and enthusiasm for the world we're building together. A world where gender will not define how big you can dream, how far you can go. A world where each of us will be able to say with confidence, I am free. So beautifully written. And now my lady here will be supported by all these heroes and sheroes. What I have learned with oil painting is that you cannot just use normal glue. The glue that I love so much, my tacky, fast-drying glue, for oil paint you actually have to use something that is not water-based. So I am using Gorilla Glue. That's what they suggested at the art store, my favorite art store. And if I have any glue left over, I'm going to fix my fence. Let's see. Okay. Let's start off slowly now. I think I'm going to start off with the base of purple. The first one's always very important, where I place it. Gorilla Glue doesn't dry as quickly as I thought it would. So what I'm going to have to do is place her down and not standing up. Easily remedied. There we go. I don't want to waste this glue. I'm going to do one feather at a time. Just let it sit and set. And I love the blue because it has touches of black and pink in it as well. Pink is my power color. It's my daughter's power color. I love trying new things, discovering new things as I go on my artist journey. And as I learn, hopefully I'm able to help you out as well. Okay, now I must step away and just let it dry, because these feathers are my foundation feathers. They will hold everything else together, and I'll go faster after these initial ones dry. I'm finally finished, and our lady here has a name. Her name is Hera. As I was laying down my hand-cut feathers, I was naturally saying a prayer for protection for women, for all women. And the name Hera came to mind because I actually have a very dear friend. Hera is one of the most loving, devoted sister, mother, friend, aunt. She is teacher by day and salsa dancer by night. She's quite incredible. And she reminds me so much of this picture and how lovely she is and how strong. Also, Hera is Greek origin. The name Hera is that of an Olympian goddess. She is wife and sister of Zeus. Yes, I know that's gross. She is the protector of women, marriage, children, women in childbirth. And so she has a lot of responsibility. And she's also known to be quite jealous and vengeful because Zeus had so many affairs. But can you blame her? So let this be a warning to anyone. If you are in a relationship with the goddess, be faithful. Now that I'm done with my project, I have some Gorilla Glue left over and I'm going to fix my fence. I've been waiting for my husband to do this for literally a year and he has not done it yet. So I am going to take action and do it myself. And it's been raining here, so I was waiting.
Hey. My neighbor. I bet you she doesn't have to do this.